They are not your assignment. Let's talk. I am your host, Kim B. Miller, Prince William County, Manassas, and Manassas Park, Virginia, Poet Laureate Emerita, author, speaker, facilitator, spoken word poet, haikuist. Let's get into today's subject. Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. So, this podcast is 17 minutes because I'm a haikuist, and I figure a lover of haiku should be able to get this done in 17 minutes. So, let's get right into today's subject. So, today we're going to be talking about that's not your assignment. And for some of y'all, this will be the first time you've heard it or the thousandth time you ignored it. Anyway, let's talk. So, what do I mean about that's not your assignment? Because, poetically speaking, poetically thinking, that can mean a lot of different things. And I want you to take your own meaning for it, but I also want you to get this meaning. That's not your assignment means you have a calendar full of assignments, meaning I'm going to go help so and so out. I'm going to be part of this organization. I'm going to join this. I'm going to volunteer for this. I'm going to be doing all these things. And your calling is nowhere on that list. The callings that God has put on your heart, that Jesus gave you, if you're not a Christian, the callings that you have on your life, that you are supposed to be working on, you're not working on because you're busy working on other people's stuff, their assignments, their calling, what they were put on this earth to do. Now, does that mean you should not help people at any time with their assignment? No, that's not what I'm saying. But your whole calendar shouldn't be 90% other people's assignments, calling, purpose, and zero of yours. And for a lot of you, that's what you're doing. And then you will tell yourself, well, I don't have time to do anything else. Look, I'm really busy. No, you made yourself so busy that you don't have time for your own assignments. And some of you even have the nerve to blame the people you said yes to instead of yourself. Yeah, I'm pausing. I want that to sink in. You are blaming them like they put force you, put a, knife to your throat, whatever, phrase you want to say. Or, I know gaslighting is real and I know manipulation is real and I know people get manipulated. But the word no has always been a complete sentence, and you standing up for yourself and setting a boundary in place has always been needed. No one is going to enforce a boundary for you if you don't enforce your own boundary. No one's going to say no for you if you won't say no for you. You have to start setting boundaries and levels of respect for you so that those levels of respect can go out to other people. You're asking people right now to enforce a level of boundary, a level of I'm not going to do this, a level of, well, she has too much on his plate, or he has too much on his plate, or they have too much on their plate, and you're not willing to do that. The boundary starts with you. What assignments do you have? What are you trying to accomplish in your life? You're not going to get some sort of, extra points for doing all these things for other people. Again, don't miss my point. Help people where needed. Volunteer in great organizations. But you also have to focus on you. Where is the focus on you? Where is the focus on the things that God gave you to do? Where is the focus on the things that make you smile, that make you expand your vision, that make you excited, that make you could just write about it. You could just talk about it. Where are those things? Where are they? Waiting for you to acknowledge them, waiting for you to start them, waiting for you to stop the excuses, waiting for you to stop working on other people's assignments. But here you go, probably during the middle of this, listening to this, you're getting ready to sign up for somebody else's something that you shouldn't be signing up for. But, they really asked me and they're good people. I didn't say none of these people were good people. But you're good people. You're a good person. What about you? How much longer are you going to throw you in the back and move someone else to the front? What's going to be the new excuse this week? What's the new excuse this minute? But you think your purpose is going to wait for you your entire life? You think your purpose is just going to be sitting over there going, hey, I'll just wait for you forever? Because some of the opportunities that went with your purpose that was set up for you have passed you because you were too busy working on someone else's stuff that they could have been working on themselves, but they know they can get good old dependable you. If they don't feel like doing something and they wait till the last minute, they know you'll pick up because good old dependable you is going to be there under every circumstance. Now, I'm saying for your BFFs and for the people who've been there for you, yes, you do drop things for people. But some of these people aren't in either of those categories. Some of them are just users. Some of them are good friends. You do help out. I'm a firm believer in that because I got a great squad. And I got a great squad of people who consider me part of their squad. So I'm honored for that. But in the same token, y'all are letting the users use you. I said what I said. You all are letting the users use you, and then you blaming them for using you. Make it make sense. Please make it make sense. It stops when you say it stops, not 1 second before. Now, you say, well, I don't think I'm that way. How do I tell? If you have the question that you normally you are, you asked. Well, you didn't, but I'm making a question. If you have to ask, am I that way? Normally you are. And if you're not, and if you're sure you're not, then go check your calendar for the last 6 months and the next 6 months coming up. What is on there? Is it some of the things you always wanted to do? Is it some of the things you made time for? Is it some of the family members you want to visit? What exactly is it? If you see the majority of it is for someone else doing something else that you don't want to do, that you don't care to do, and this person is not a good friend or in your circle, then that's the time for you to start questioning it. Again, I'm not talking about volunteer work. I'm not talking about helping people out. I'm talking about you getting serious about this. The fact that I have to keep backpedaling to make sure I don't lose you is because you'll make every excuse not to do this under the guise of you're a good person. And you are a good person. I'm not questioning if you're a good person. I'm questioning if you're making great decisions to be the good person that you are. Good people make bad choices every day. Let me say that again. Good people make bad choices every day. You having a good heart does not exempt you from making bad choices. With that in mind, take a realistic, fair, comprehensive look at what you're doing. What are you spending your time on? Is this what you should be doing? Is it? Now, after you go down that rabbit hole and you say, okay, Kim, you got me. It's me. It's me. What do I do now? You reach out and you start slowly at a pace that you feel comfortable. It doesn't have to be slowly, but at a pace that you feel comfortable. You start eliminating the things that are not part of your purpose. If you're on a committee and you've done it for years, you let them know this will be your last month as a part of that committee. You enjoyed what you did, but you would like to spend your time on other things. If it's a friend's event you always do, and I won't say friend, an acquaintance event that you always do, and you find you always do 90% of the work, now's the time for you to let that person know up front, hey, I see your event's coming up next month. Unfortunately, I will not be able to be a part of it. Now, I'm going to warn you. When you start pushing yourself back, the gaslighting is going to increase. Wow, I thought you were so dependable. I just thought you were one of those people who really took the mission seriously. Wow, I'm so disappointed. You're just not who I thought you were. Mm, You're going to get all the sound effects to go with it. You're going to get the I don't even know if I know you anymore. What happened to the person I used to know? What changed you? Who did it? Gaslighting and manipulating are some people's middle name. For some, it's their first, middle, and last name. I'm just going to be honest. You have to stop falling for the manipulation. Be resolute in your decision. I've decided this is not for me right now. Now, if you're one of those people who feel you have to explain, I would love for you to get in the habit of not. But I get for some people that's not what's the word I'm looking for? A comfortable space for you to be in. And I honor that. So for those of you who aren't comfortable at that level yet, you can come up with something along the lines of, what you do is such beautiful work, excellent progress I've seen you making. I just would like to work on something that's more aligned with my calling and my purpose. You have done such great work. I'm just going to find my purpose at this time. If they respect you enough, that should be the end of the conversation. Now, if you get pushback, you can just keep repeating what you said in different forms. Or you can follow up along the line of, I know you're so capable, you can get this done without me. Something along that line. Because generally speaking, they should be able to get it done without you. Find your way of saying it that you feel comfortable with if you feel an explanation is needed. If you are also comfortable enough of saying no, then stick with the no. Then just stick with the no. My time, blah, 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 whatever you feel comfortable saying. Because what I don't want is to push you like these people are pushing you into doing just something that you don't feel comfortable with. I want you to feel comfortable. So sit down with yourself and practice something and practice it. And then practice an answer if you get something other than, okay, I understand. Now, if you get an okay, I understand, don't think that necessarily is the end of it, because sometimes people will start trashing you. They never took the vision seriously. They weren't here for the long haul. Da, da, da. People are always going to have something to say. Let them have something to say while you're living in your purpose, while you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, while you're living your life. But to live whatever how many years you are given to stay here, and to spend 90% of it, 90% of it on someone else is not living. It's time for you to start living, and it's okay. Because some of you have been people pleasers your whole life, and this is a big step for you. This is a tremendous step, and this is frightening, and this is scary. And I get that. I'm not minimizing your pain. I'm not minimizing your anxiety that you have to do what I'm suggesting that you do. But without you doing it, you can't get done what you need done. So you are worthy of your own time. You are enough, and you are worthy. If no one's ever told you that, you are worthy of your own time. And that time is now. Not tomorrow. Not I'll start next month. Not I'll start off 2025 right. Now. Start peeling it back now. Get your nose lined up now. Start making those calls and emails now, so that when the next day hits, you can start immediately. Don't wait till 2025. New year, new you. That's just going to be another lie, because if you're not prepared to do it now, 2020, a date calendar change is not going to make it easy for you to do. Oh, 2025, I'm going to start. Why? What about that calendar going, whoop, is going to change your whole being? That's internal. If you don't start now, 2025 is going to be the same as 2024. Now, if your 2024 was exactly as it should be, then you still want to progress more. You don't want to stay on the same level. So what are you going to do to make changes? The question is, what are you going to do to make the changes necessary so that you're not repeating past mistakes and you're seeing yourself clearly the way you should be seeing yourself and giving yourself the grace that you give everybody else? You give everybody else grace, you give everybody else time, you give everybody else consideration, but when it comes to you, you're the last person on your list. Make today the last day you do that. They and what they are doing is not your assignment. Go ahead, work on yours. You are your assignment.